Cabinet Ministers, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, my fellow Fijians. It is my task today, as your Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, to present to you the 2013 budget. Next year, 2013, will long be remembered as the year that Fiji made a bold investment in its future. For today, I am announcing a budget that decisively tackles some vital areas of need in our nation, and especially one of its biggest challenges, the state of our roads. Only by an ambitious spending initiative can we overcome our greatest infrastructure problem and one of the biggest barriers to Fiji's economic development. So we will do a lot more to fix our roads by increasing our national deficit from 1.9% to 2.8%. Yes, it is an increase, but it is not reckless spending. It is a focused and disciplined approach to building the nation's economic capacity. It is a long-term investment in infrastructure that will bear fruit for us in greater productivity. It is a responsible way to solve a long acknowledged problem, and every Fijian knows that this is necessary. We intend to build on my government's proud record of service delivery to the Fijian people, not only in roads, but in a host of other areas that have been neglected for far too long. Ordinary people will see a difference. This budget will affect every household. What are we promising? A government that works for all Fijians. That means that we will push relentlessly for equality of all Fijians. We will push for opportunity and justice for all Fijians. And we will do our best to keep all Fijians safe and secure. Regardless of religion or ethnicity, whether male or female, urban or rural, young or old, we are endowed by our nation with the same rights, the same privileges, and the same opportunities. And this budget reflects that. Our overall aim is to modernize and streamline all the instruments of government. Civil servants need to be better servants of the people, and they need to be supported by strong institutions, better rewards, and more efficient processes. This budget will strengthen law and order. It will make justice more accessible. It will encourage investment and, of course, economic growth. And it will make Fiji stronger and smarter. It is a budget for the people, and it will set the stage for what we are all working towards in 1914. The full restoration of parliamentary democracy. Since I presented the budget last year, nearly 500,000 Fijians have registered to vote in the election, and we expect to register many more. We are formulating a new constitution with a set of unassailable, universally accepted principles. Our economy is stable and it's growing. They said we couldn't do it, we have. They say we will never have parliamentary democracy, we will. We are on our way, and will be a fairer democracy, a more equal democracy, a democracy that is built to last. Ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow Fijians, there is one big difference between my government and those that came before it. We deliver, and we deliver for all Fijians. In return, we expect all citizens to meet certain standards of behavior. There is too much personal dishonesty and abuse of the system, and we see it in all areas. From those who abuse the free bus vouchers for school children, to those who abuse the social welfare system, to those who continue to break the law by not paying taxes and customs duties. It is also unacceptable that importers and traders continue to charge ordinary Fijians and our visitors exorbitant prices even after government has zero-rated or reduced duty. We will not tolerate tax evaders, welfare cheats, or those who unfairly deny ordinary Fijians access to affordable goods, just as we won't tolerate corruption. It is the government's obligation to the majority of law-abiding and decent Fijians. Ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow Fijians, in 2011, the Fijian economy grew by 1.9%. The economy is projected to grow by 2.5% in 2012. Forecast growth for 2013 is 2.7%. For 2013, we estimate total revenue of $2.1 billion and a total expenditure of $2.3 billion. The estimated net deficit for 2013 is $280 million, or 2.8% of GDP. The provision for operating expenditure is $1.55 million. $722 million is budgeted for capital expenditure. We are proud to have increased the proportion of the money that we spend on capital projects. Previous budgets set allocation for capital projects or capital works at 20% of the budget and 80% on operational costs. This year, capital expenditure will hit the 700 million mark for the first time. This represents a budget increase to 32% spent on capital works. That means more money for development, projects, and initiatives. Inflation is expected to continue to decline during the remaining months of 2012 to around 3.5%. Our reserves are at comfortable levels at 1.58 billion, sufficient to cover 5 months of imports of goods and services. We have eased certain exchange controls, a sign of confidence in the strength of our economy, which investors will find attractive. This year, we refinanced several high-interest loans with a combined value of $51 million, which will lead to a saving of 5.2 million in interest payments next year. Building our prudent financial management, we have so far built our offshore sinking fund to $90 million US. This is expected to surpass $100 million US by the end of this year. The FNPF reforms have been ongoing after the budget announcement in 2010. Since then, significant progress and reforms have been made to ensure the sustainability of the pension scheme and to improve governance and transparency of the only superannuation fund in Fiji. The recent recognition by the International Social Security Association is a testament to the success of the reforms in FNPF. The announcement of the FNPF annual results only yesterday further shows the strong position of FNPF within the financial sector of Fiji. However, FNPF is faced with a continuing challenge of finding new investment opportunities that provide adequate returns to its members. It also has the task of turning around some of its non-performing assets. In this regard, I am pleased to announce that stage 1 of the Momi Resort development will commence at the beginning of the second quarter of 2013. Accordingly, FNPF will complete the development of the resort with an estimated investment of $150 million. Government, of course, will assist this initiative by ensuring that the project is completed expeditiously. As part of government's collaboration with FNPF, it will sell its overseas mission properties to FNPF and list them back. This will provide FNPF offshore investment opportunities with attractive and sustained returns while reducing the operational costs for government. FNPF will also explore opportunities within the region to ensure that it is not only continues to provide better returns for its members, but also diversifies its investment portfolio, thereby reducing its risks. already begun to reap the results of the bold tax cuts I announced last year, which reinvigorated the economy as expected. Investment levels have reached 18% of GDP. New investment lending is growing and consumption is buoyant as a result of the rise in disposable income. And this will continue. We have added more incentive to attract investment and help our economic growth. We will continue to position Fiji as one of the most preferred locations in the region for both foreign and local investment through an attractive taxation regime and investor-friendly and consistent policies. In a global context, we are faced with many of the same challenges that I outlined last year. Global growth has been revised downwards from 3.9 to 3.6%. The sovereign debt crisis in Europe continues. There is weak demand in the advanced economies, and many developing countries continue to face strong inflationary pressures. Globally, it remains a volatile situation. But we have managed our economy responsibly and well, and we have done so in such a way that is fairer for every Fijian. We haven't been a business-friendly government at the expense of the rest of the community. We provide targeted assistance to the poor, the disabled, and the disadvantaged. We support business to sustain and create jobs. It is only by growing our economy and attracting new and reinvestment can we raise the living standards of ordinary Fijians. We don't only need to create jobs. We need to create opportunities for ordinary Fijians to have sustained livelihoods. Our vision for the modern Fiji is for government, employers, and employees to work together to raise living standards, not let political or personal interests, cronyism, or corruption get in the way of our development. We are a small country and cannot escape the impact of what happens globally. That is all the more reason why we need sound policies that respond not just to the requirements of the international marketplace, but also to the needs of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, and my fellow Fijians, I now have much pleasure in announcing the details of the 2013 budget.